Animals, do you guys want to do some work? While those animals work on their toys, I'm going to do some of my own work on my toys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider hitting the subscribe button. We got a bunch of stuff going on. Might want to check it out. If you're a regular viewer, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, because we got a bunch of stuff going on. So before I get that stuff going on, I'm going to clean up the shop a little bit. I'll leave you guys out for that one. You don't need to see that. But we got a little project got to work on. Got to take a break from working on this frame, but that doesn't mean I'm taking a break from working on this frame. The thing I'm working on is for the frame, obviously. So we're going to build a rotisserie. Pretty sure it's going to work out okay. Done some measurements. Looks good so far. So on paper it'll work. Let's see if it'll work in reality. So what we have here is a 2-ton engine stand. Actually got 2 of them. This is just one of them. But this is what I'm going to use to make the rotisserie. Like I said, I've done some measurements. Looking good so far. So we're going to move forward. First thing I'm going to do, open it, cut it up. I'm going to have a link in the description for this. I got it from Amazon because Harbor Freight didn't have any. I totally went in there ready to buy 2 of them. And the only thing they had was the display model. I literally drove to 3 Harbor Freights looking for them. None of them had them. They had display models, but they wouldn't sell them to me, even though they're discontinued. So, hopped on Amazon, got those. They were there in 2 days, and we're about to build them. What are these? Instructions for ants? They'd have to be literally twice the size for a human being to read. Seriously, these are the instructions, which that's not that bad. That's the bad part. It actually shows up better on my camera. I can actually, yeah, you can't make that out in person. I'm not just blind, but it does look pretty good there. Might have to use that. Not too bad for the old Chinese craftsmanship. That ought to do it. You ever hear the saying, out of the frying pan into the oven? Well, we're doing out of the box into the saw. A lot of people don't know this, but it's really good to leave the powder coating on there. That way, in case you got other people around you, they can smell how good of a weld it is. Smell how good of a weld that is? Now if that doesn't hold, China's never would have. Clyde, I'm glad you asked. Other people may wonder too. Reason I cut this off and welded it back on, you can see there it's got a little bit of a slope. What that does is it kind of tilts the engine back. I mean, I guess, because when you put an engine on there, it has a little bit of springiness, if you will. Kind of make the motor a little bit more level, plus just put it back on the back wheel so it doesn't tip over. Exactly, told you. So yeah, I'm gonna cut that off. Well, I did cut that off. Made that flat. There's a different plate from the other one. So just squared it up. That way it is perpendicular to the base. That way it'll be a straight line across, connecting the 2 together, hopefully, theoretically at least. So, we'll let Clyde do his thing, let this cool off. I'm gonna get back to reassembling the rest of this thing and put it all together and see if it works. Now, before you get totally gung-ho crazy and weld this up solid, make sure you got it in the right orientation. This one totally is, but if I was just screwing around, it wouldn't be. And the reason I say that, check out these sweet ears that I made for this frame. There's going to be new A-arm mounts right there. Got a whole set of them. Fit perfectly. Only one problem. They were too wide. Yeah, so go check out this video of these arms. I should have it up already. If not, come back and check it out. But if I do have it up, there will be a link up on the top, so you'll already know. Top, one of the two. Anyways, yeah, they turned out pretty sweet, but forgot to do one critical measurement. So, built another set. That worked out good. But anyways, we're gonna get back to this, because this is what we're building now, and it's gonna work out perfect. One really sweet thing about this, I thought I was going to bust out the welder one more time, put one down there and then weld it wherever it lies, but it's kind of like they wanted me to build this into a rotisserie. For engine stand, it's supposed to go on the outside, but for a rotisserie, it totally bolts up on the inside. Didn't even have to do any modifications, other than getting it through the other side. Oh yeah, check that out. They really like me. I may still weld some of this up. Not 100% sure yet. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't kill me, I won't. If it does, you should probably weld it up. That's some pretty sweet cardboard. I might have to bust out some breakdancing moves. Yeah, you probably didn't know it. You're looking at Mr. 1993 Wisconsin World Champion Breakdancer. You can go ahead and Google it. It's true. Hey, welcome back. Oh, you didn't find it? Probably didn't look hard enough. But anyways, you can look later. You can do that while you're waiting on me to upload another video. I mean, let's get back to work. Got plenty of work to do. Poor guy in China must have been missing an eyeball and half blind in the other one. Because that's not very straight. Hopefully there's enough slack in there that'll be alright. If not, I guess I'll cut that off and try and weld it a little bit straighter, but we'll see how it does first. So I whipped up 4 of these little tabs on the plasma table. Gotta admit, I'm totally digging that little machine. It saves a ton of headache. As soon as I can get the dross figured out, it'll be really, really nice. But other than that, it's awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna bolt my little tabs on where the bumper shocks used to go. One on each corner, obviously. I'm gonna measure, put a piece of square tubing in between, and probably weld my plate for my engine stand on there. Don't really see a reason to try and rig up any bolting apparatuses, but yeah, I'll just weld it on there. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and then we'll see about getting our stand in there. The one crucial thing that I didn't really take into account, I mean I kind of did, I think it'll be alright, is my shop isn't the biggest in the world. Like when I pull a full Cadillac in here, my Fleetwood, the front bumper pretty much touches the back wall. The back bumper just about touches the back wall. I mean, you literally can't walk past it without the doors being open. Don't know if that's going to be that big of a footprint on the stand. I kind of think it is. Actually, I'm pretty positive it is. So we'll see. I mean, maybe I can butt it literally to the wall and be able to close it. Or worst case scenario, I guess I can turn it sideways. As long as it's within the door, I don't really have to worry about being able to go around it. Need be, I can, push it to the side, close the doors. But that will be one thing I'll have to take into consideration, whether this is going to work or not. Otherwise, it kind of be a lot of wasted work for nothing. But we'll see how it goes. So we got our front cross member on. I just made it out of 3-inch channel. I wasn't making it out of square tubing, but I remember how expensive square tubing is, and I had some channel laying around, so I'd rather use that because I don't use it as much as I do square tubing. Got our little engine stand swivel put in the center of the frame, and about to do the same to the rear of the frame. And unfortunately in the rear, I forgot that little cross member. It actually sticks out behind this rear mount just a little bit. So I got to add some spacers. Did them out of just 2x2 square tubing. Did 1.5 inches to kind of push it out. So that'll be another 1.5 inches that I might be fighting, but it kind of had to be that way. Here's our rear bar with the spacers. They're still hot. Got the centerpiece welded on and the other spacer. Let this thing cool off, and then we'll throw it on the frame. So we got a rear bracket all bolted on and welded on. It's somewhat cold to the touch. I'm gonna start cleaning out all this mess here, and we'll see about getting this thing up on a rotisserie. So it is full weight on the stands right now. Threw me a little dinky tack weld on there because I don't want those falling out while I'm rolling it back and forth. That could get really scary. Got another tack weld there. Like I said, a little dinky one. I'm gonna put some lock collars on there eventually because I do have to pull this off. To be able to slide that out, it makes it a lot easier than trying to line up all those bolts there. So figured, just like an engine, you know, lift it up in the air, slide that on just like I did earlier. Seemed to work good. All right, let's see if it was a fail or a success. I'm gonna stand on the end just in case something happens. I can get the hell out of here. She's not perfectly balanced. So I kind of was afraid of that. Well, let's make it. That one down there is looking a little sketchy. But she totally works. A little bit of effort in it, but definitely way better than doing it just by hand, because that sucks. And I didn't grab my little pins. Good job. Wow, it moves really easily. So, we'll throw a bolt in there. We have plenty of bolts laying around. If it falls and breaks my leg. Cool. And the next question, will it fit in the shop with the doors closed? Yes, barely, but it does fit. So that brings us to the end of another video. This project turned out pretty cool. I'm glad it worked. Like I said, I kind of had my doubts there a little bit height-wise. I do have a link for these engine stands in the description. They work out perfect. Like I said, all you had to really do was just straighten up the vertical post. Worked out perfect. No complaints so far. I meant to put grease in the little spinning axis part. Totally forgot, but it actually moves really, really easily. Obviously, when I take it off again, I will put grease in there. Turns really easy by hand. I mean, it was a little bit hard just using that little pry bar. I'm going to put a bigger bar in there in the future. Could grab the frame rail, but I wasn't quite sure how sturdy it'd be, so I didn't really want to be in that area and you know, have the frame follow me. That would suck because it is heavy. It's not fully wrapped yet, but it's about 3/4 of the way, and I tried picking up the back of it earlier, and I don't want none of that. So you know, it's getting some weight put on it. And if you've ever lifted a full frame, you probably haven't. I mean, if you have, you're really strong. But usually it takes about 4 guys, you know, 2 guys on each end. It's a good bit of weight. And now that Maverick and Goose are done doing their flyby, even though I told them the pattern was full, let's get back to this video. So yeah, really, really simple project. You know, if you got a welder, you got a little bit of fabrication skills, you can totally do it. You can do it all with a grinder. You know, I mean, I cut my little bumper brackets with the plasma cutter just because I had it, you know, but still, all you, I mean, really all you got to do is get like some 3-inch flat bar, I think is what it was. I got a measurement for you real quick. Yeah, it was 3 inches. 3x6 is what the bumper brackets were, and you just drill them out. You know, I think I put 5/16 bolts in there, so that's pretty much what the holes were from factory. I'm sure it's metric, but it's holding in the air so far. You know, if I come out here in the morning and it's fell over, I'll tell you not to use them bolts, but I'm pretty sure they're strong enough. I got 16 of them, so. Also, like I said, I was worried about fitting in the shop. My shop is 24 feet from front to back, very front to the very back. So if you have a 24-foot shop, all this will fit in it, and you can have room. Won't have room to walk around it, but you can go under it. You can turn around, sidestep through it. Kind of make things a lot easier, I guess. But anyways, we're gonna end it here. Hit the like button if you liked it, if it helped you out. If you had any ideas about this, once again, totally works. It is a little bit higher. That's the only thing. It's going to be kind of weird. I kind of think I'm going to like it standing up because I wasn't really that comfortable sitting down. It wasn't bad, but I think standing up might be a little bit better. So we'll have to see about that. Worst case scenario, I'll just use it to flip the frame and I'll set it back down because I mean, that's kind of an easy thing right there. I've lifted it with a cherry picker. I put a chain on one side and hoisted it over and then flipped it down. That's a pain. It's a lot of work. This here seems a lot easier. I can just hook my engine hoist to the back, pick it up, put the rotisserie on, hook it up the front, hook the rotisserie on, roll it over, set it back down if I have to. I'm fine with that. But as I said, we're going to end it here. So if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. Once again, hit the like button, comment, let me know what you think about this. I do have it all in the descriptions for an Amazon account. If you guys buy from that link, it will give me a little bit of kickback. It won't cost you any money, and it'll help me build more things like this so I can show you guys. So until the next video, see ya.